So, like many others, I have fallen into the rabbit hole of what is hololive. In particular, I have been watching a lot of Kiara recently. And if you don't know who Kiara is, well, here's a brief intro.
Hello, I want to sit on Pecora. I know that sounds wrong. Never gonna give you up. Never gonna let you down. Watching. She's got it. Okay. Sayonara. Alligator.
Yeah, that's Kiara there. Anyway, while watching one of her streams, I finally noticed that her loading screen is basically a game. So having been learning game dev for the past couple of months, I decided to make her loading screen into an actual game, and that's exactly what I did. So the first thing I had to do was I actually had to get the assets, the art assets specifically, and that's exactly what I did. Don't ask how I got the images. I totally didn't steal it from Kiara's stream, totally didn't. Anyway, I had to separate Kiara and the background so I could actually make the game, so that's what I'm doing here in Photoshop. Now, it did take a lot longer than I thought it was gonna take, but we did get it in the end, so that's all that matters. Anyway, with that done, made a project in Godot, which is the engine I'm using to make the game. So anyway, I started the project, and yeah, the first thing I basically did was I started to make the player controller for Kiara. Now I just wanted to keep it simple, so I just used an Area 2D for it, and set up the sprite for her. And there we go, it's there. Bam, beautiful. Now it's pretty big, so we worry about resizing later, but I set up the animations for her and gave her a script. And yeah, being lazy like I usually am, I basically took the code from a previous project that I worked on and just added it to my Kiara project here and ran it, and look at that, we have movement. Now it's not working perfectly as you can see, and Kiara's kind of out of the screen, so we'll worry about that in a little bit. Now I did make another scene and set up the background to be Kiara's loading screen background, and I added Kiara into it, and look at that, we have a game that has Kiara and her background in it, and we still can't move forward too much. But like I said, we'll worry about that later. Anyway, I then started to set up the chicken for our game so that we could actually collect it. Gave it a sprite. We used the Godot default icon for testing purposes. And then I set it up to actually check if a body enters it, and to actually keep score, and to actually move, which is what I'm doing here. Nothing too exciting, just boring code. Don't need to understand it. And with this code, let's see. Oh yeah, we did have to also add some code to actually remove the chicken when we touch it, because we kind of want to do that. And look at that, there we go. We can collect chicken now. Well, Godot icons right now. Anyway, we then made a simple GUI for the game to keep track of the score, and then we added the animation that Kiara's loading screen has for the score, just moving down and then disappearing. Wasn't too bad. Took a couple tries to get it right, but we got it in the end, which is it's good. And with that done, we just added it to our main world scene, and then we fixed the code for the movement of our player, and gave it a timer for the spawning of the chickens. Don't worry, there'll be chickens eventually. And yeah, look at that, we have chickens spawning. Now I did also want to give it some rotation to the chickens, and so I added some code to make them rotate, and look at that, they're rotating now quite fast, but yeah, whatever. And now the score wasn't actually working, so I actually implemented the code to actually make the score stuff work, and I finally replaced the go.default icon with the chicken icon. And look at that, we have chicken in our game flying around and rotating. Now they're all moving at the same speed and they're all rotating the same. So the next thing, after testing it a little bit more, that I did was I added some code to make it a little bit random, and obviously there were some issues with our chicken kinda glitching, but like many other things, I left that for later, and I instead worked on adding some music to the game. So yeah, that's what I did. Added Kiara's loading screen music into the game. I then also decided to make things a little bit more exciting by adding a different type of chicken that's a power-up and will basically speed up Kiara's movement for a given amount of time. So I implemented the code to spawn the power-up chicken, and look at that, we have the power-up chicken. Oh, and I also did fix the weird random issues that I had with randomizing the chicken movement when it spawned. And then the next thing I did was I actually wanted to add a pause menu to the game, so that's exactly what I did. And look at that, I know it's very beautiful. Don't worry, I did change it, but look at that, it is working. So I went online and got some art for the pause menu from Kiara's Twitter page. And yeah, here's the game. So yeah, it was an experience making that, and yeah, I had a lot of fun, which is all that matters. And yeah, I added a ton of Easter eggs to the game, so if you do want to play this crappy little game that I made, the link will be in the description, so you can check it out there, and maybe you can find all the Easter eggs that I added in the game. Anyway, with that said, hopefully you guys really enjoyed the video, and if you did enjoy the video, make sure to leave a like and consider subscribing, and I'll see you guys in the next one.